WWE report, and I'm right here with the Ice Pik Vic Capri, Chicago legend. Where are we at now? Where are we at? Tell me where we're at here.
We're about half a leg in the grave already at this point, I think.
But we're at this school, the Ice Pik Academy. Talk about forming this, and was this something you visualized for the past year or two?
Actually, it was people like Shelly, Gonzo, and myself. When we started training, all of us together, I didn't expect it to turn into more people, really. But as more people are starting to come through, it's just really growing, and I realized how fulfilling it really is to do this.
Yes.
And I enjoy it just as much as I enjoy doing the shows and being out in front of the fans, to be honest with you, and being able to help and just kind of give my 2 cents, because I'm not the end-all be-all. I'm not somebody that's going to be like, oh, you do it my way, and that's it.
Right.
I want my kids, they've all trained somewhere else pretty much. So I like the fact that I'm fine-tuning a lot of stuff from other people, and I also encourage them to go to other schools and go to other practices, learn other techniques and stuff, and if whatever works for them, that's what they should do.
Yes.
So, it's opened my eyes to a lot of things in the wrestling business and just in my personal life, too. Mm-hmm. So it's been really fulfilling, though.
For sure. Can you talk about this Friday, this SSW Horsepower III, another horsepower event, Kenosha, sold out, by the way.
Yeah.
Or about to be.
And you have two guys that I think we're 100 years between the two of us, 100 years old, and you got us in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's something Kross has done before, and I've got quite a few under my belt, so it's going to be interesting. And the fact, if we have 1,000 people like we had last year, I get really stupid when the crowd's big and they're into it. So
right.
There is a balcony.
Yeah.
So you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
For sure. And when was the last time you were in that kind of match, that style of matchup?
Probably the last time might have been Brubaker. I really haven't done any death matches or too many hardcore matches since that one, I think. Maybe one since, but that was it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to get back into a hardcore match that I haven't had a chance to do in a while.
Sure.
And I love them, so it doesn't matter.
Vic Capri, when we were talking about Ryan Kross, he said Vic Capri's title reign must be stopped. And I looked up to him when I was starting as a wrestler, but he'll be looking up at me once the TLC match is done. What is your response to that?
I'm short. I look up to him anyway. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. I'm short. I look up to 95% of the people on the planet. So that's just a dumb comment. So, but the title reign needs to end. I've been a champion there on and off now 5 times, I think.
Yeah.
And I've probably been the most dominant person in SSW, and people get upset about it, but it is what it is.
For sure.
And yeah, I am somebody too, especially now that I'm training people. I'm looking for that way out and to kind of pass the torch. Not that Ryan Kross, who's only a couple of years younger than me, is the person to pass the torch to, but it's time.
Sure.
I know for myself this is it. I know. I've cut back a ton, where I'm really only working for Dreamwave and SSW and WrestlePunks. I think right now for this year, I think I have a total of 18 bookings for the year right now, and that's it.
Right.
And I like it.
And
I like being able to rest. It's kind of nice. So, but yeah, I know it's time, and yeah, the reign will end sooner or later, but probably not in my bread and butter match.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
For sure, and it's a great show. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got your student Shelly. She's going to be
Yes.
on there, of course, with Miss and Sophia.
Yep.
You've got Jordan Kross taking on one of the big challenges of his career, Mustafa Ali. So
Yeah.
just being on that card is going to be special for you, right?
Oh, every show. And, every show is pretty much special, just because, especially I know that they're coming to an end.
Yes.
So, but yeah, and I know I've been saying that for a while now, but with the way I've slowed down and how I feel, I know 2025 is it.
Right.
It's going to be it. I probably won't be taking, unless Dreamwave wants me to do a good as gold or SSW needs me for
Right.
something, down the road, you know, after it's over and said and done, I'll come back. I'll never
Yes.
say that I'm never going to lace my boots up again. That's not going to happen.
Right.
You know, there are people that are good to me, that I'm friends with, that I like and I care about, that I'll always be willing to help. So I'll always be there for them.
For sure. And then talk about the youth. And we have, like, the past couple of years, the young talent that's come out of Illinois is amazing.
There's a lot of good talent that's coming out. You know, there's tons of people that are very talented. I'm really worried about egos, though, to be honest with you. You know, the wrestling business, there's a lot of people with egos. It doesn't
Right.
make a difference how old you are. And getting a little bit too much too fast has a tendency to do that to people, especially some of the young kids.
Sure.
If they get a little too much, it goes to their head. And I've seen that with some young people over the last 5 years. You know, but it doesn't matter who it is or when it is, it's going to happen.
Right.
You're going to have those people that are going to be like that. But yeah, the talent is growing. You know, the athletes are way better than what they were when I was growing up, just because of different techniques of the way we do things. And I even found a ton of stuff just from in contact and talking with other trainers and following other schools and things like that. I've learned a number of different techniques and things that we can do. The biggest thing is not the old guard. We need to evolve, and I think that's the biggest problem. Is a lot of the old guard hasn't evolved,
Right.
with the business the way it has, and that's what's holding a lot of people back. The business isn't what it used to be. It's not as much storytelling. It's much more move and spot oriented. So for me, with my students, if I can teach them how to be, how to tell a story in a match better, and how to make things make sense and understand why they're doing the things that they're doing, I think it helps them, and it gives them a leg up on people who are just out there to do a move. And
Sure.
because anybody can do a move and people can react to a move, but it's getting the fans to buy into the character and who that person is,
Yes.
and wanting that person to do well, not just because they do cool moves.
Definitely,
You know?
definitely.
So it's trying to instill that into people. And I'm, if you want the truth, I'm looking to train people who want to be workers, not people that want to be spot monkeys. You know, I want people that want to learn how to work, want to learn psychology, and want to. I teach a Japanese style, you know, for the most part. You know, it's a hybrid. And so to me, it gives it more of a feel of a sporting event than just entertainment. And so that's kind of what I strive for, and try and give more of that. So, and I like the old school storytelling in a match, you know, from back in the old days in Memphis and the early WWF days and stuff like that. So
Yes.
stuff like that, I think it's gotten people have gotten too far away from it in the wrestling
Definitely.
business. So.
And then when you had mentioned Dreamwave, so when you turned on Arn Bauer, when you went for those
after
damn
Rose?
Coyotes, talk about the reaction, like from LaSalle. Is that what you wanted to hear? And will your next, and then on top of that, will that your next match be your last in LaSalle, like your next Dreamwave?
No, it
match?
won't be
Okay.
it won't be my last one with Dreamwave. But honestly, I found it kind of funny because I hit the ring, I hit Christian Rose, and he was the good guy, and I pulled the hood off, and the crowd initially cheered,
Right.
and then went, "Oh wait, no, boo!" So it was like they were excited when they saw me, but then they went, "Oh wait, but he just hit Christian Rose, not
Yeah.
Connor. Fuck! All right, no, boo! Wait, we're not supposed to be cheering him." So it kind of I don't know if it got lost in the shuffle, but it was a delayed reaction on the heel turn from the fans. So it was kind of nice though,
Right.
and I haven't been a heel there in a long time now, so it'll be fun.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Was there a stable that you were a part of with them when you were a heel, or you were just a heel on your own?
I just hit my own stable back when I was the Dreamwave champion. So
Okay.
now this is, Connor's the Dreamwave champion, and it's the whole thing with the old guard needing to step away, and me included. Dreamwave is really big on the champion facing bigger name people and
Sure.
things like that, and a lot of times whoever the champion is gets to wrestle all these big names, and Connor Hopkins is really good, and he's going on his third or fourth title defense against Christian Rose.
Right.
He wrestled Vikingo. He hasn't really wrestled any names. He's been stuck with Rose, and it's like, okay, Rose, step aside.
Right.
This kid is good enough. He needs to be out there in front of these other people
Sure.
and with these other talented, bigger name people so he can grow. Stop, and that's why I made the turn. It's like, I understand that the old guard needs to step away and let the younger kids elevate themselves and have those matches that they're going to be proud of. And that's the shit I want. I don't want to see, as much as I wanted to see, Suzuki who's 55 and myself who's 51 in the ring together. We're old. There's not a lot we can do. I'd rather see younger kids in there with a bigger name and see what they can do with them, because they're not beat up after 27 years of wrestling, 30 years of wrestling, and all the other sports and shit like that. So I'd rather sometimes see those things.
Okay.
And I want to see those kids, those younger kids that are talented, that have a good head on their shoulders, that don't have an ego. I want to see them do well, and I want to see them have those moments. That was a huge. I had this conversation with Christian Rose afterwards, after the match with Suzuki. He explained to me, how much I deserved it and things like that. And he's wrestled a lot of names, and I told him this was a dream come true. This was my hero, and I hugged him I hugged Rose after the match and told him thank you, and said, I hope one day, if you haven't had it yet, you have that idol that you have always wanted to wrestle. I hope you have that moment with somebody.
Yes.
You have that match. I think everybody that's talented and really on top of their game needs to get those moments.
Yes.
They deserve those moments where they can have, if you've been doing this 20, 30 years, I can give the guys the payoff.
Yes.
Let them have that legend, that idol that they've always wanted. Give them that match. And let them have it. Because now, the only thing that I didn't do in my career was sign a contract with a company.
Right.
I've wrestled in Japan. I've wrestled one of my heroes. I've wrestled students of mine now. So everything has been very fulfilling.
Yeah.
And so now it is much more comfortable for me to say, you guys go do your thing. I'm going to hang back here. You guys go do your thing, and I'm just going to support you from now on.
For sure, and I can't wait to see your upcoming match with Ryan Kross.
Thank you.
If you have to tell one thing to all the fans, like, why should they come check that out? The tables, ladders, and chairs, what they can expect.
It's tables, ladders, and chairs in a junior higher middle school auditorium. When last year we had just over 1,000 people, which half were kids. So if you want to talk about people who are into a show. And it's a fundraiser too, and it goes in ties with You Are More and things like that, and suicide prevention. So there's a lot other things to it besides just the wrestling. But if you want to go and you really want to have fun and you want to see kids just having a really good time,
Yes.
come out.
For sure.
Besides the matches, we all know, everybody, if you've seen the ads, the matches, how good the people are, that's great. But if you just want to see and just be entertained by seeing kids just enjoy themselves at the magic of pro wrestling and what we do and those superheroes and things like that, and where we're out there, seeing those kids and the reactions from the kids is so much more entertaining half the time than, to me, the matches. I'll be honest with you. I like watching the kids' reactions. That's a big thing to me. Being a dad, I don't know if everybody's the same way, but seeing those reactions from the kids when we're at the shows and what we're doing, whether they're booing you, cheering you, slapping you in the face, which they've done to me there too. So it doesn't make a difference, but it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like what you're doing is something that's special.
For sure.
So, and I think that's what I think people start to lose focus on in the wrestling business.
Yeah, we were all a kid once.
Yeah, we were all a kid once, and remember, like, you and I, the internet wasn't around probably when you were a kid too. I mean, the internet wasn't around, there was no YouTube or anything like that until after I was out of college. We were still tape trading in the early days when I started wrestling. There was just message boards, that's it. So it's a huge difference, and back then, growing up, I didn't know it was fake.
For sure.
So if I can let those kids feel how I felt when I was a kid, then I did what I was supposed to do.
Definitely. Well, Ice Pik, Vic Capri, appreciate you being on PW. Thank you for having us at your facility here.
No problem.
Ice Pik Academy. Make sure to sign up a question, if you have an email or something.
Oh, you just go message me either on my personal Instagram or on the Ice Pik Academy Instagram, either one. I answer both of them. So
For sure. And
Okay.
we've got SSW this month and next month, Dreamwave, nothing in between, right?
maybe making an appearance at Super Wrestlers on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, we'll keep an eye out for that as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No
Vic,
problem,
for being
man.
on PW Report.
no problem.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for coming, man.
Thank you. And you might Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
You might want to run for free. Get out of here, you fella!